Good morning. My name is Karen. I'm the CEO of Boardroom Metrics based in Toronto. Our company is a global talent agency connecting senior executives to business. With me today is my business partner and chairman of Boardroom Metrics, Jim Crocker. Hello, Jim.
Hello. Hello.
With us today is Claude Emond. Claude is based in Montreal. He's recognized as an international expert in organizational agility. Welcome to the Boardroom Metrics show, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think we just want to first start and talk about our experience on Blab. I think we're excited about the platform and where it can go and how it can help our agency get our message out to the world in a bigger way. Jim, you've been on Blab for the last few weeks experimenting and exploring. Any thoughts on what you're seeing so far?
I think it's really interesting. I think it has great opportunity, great possibilities for anyone who has been cruising around Blab. I mean, it's this whole range of. I think the last time we did this, Karen, I talked about kitchen parties. I mean, everything from kitchen parties to people who just really know each other well and are great friends, and frankly end up talking about stuff that you really feel like an outsider and quickly leave. But there's some great business content that is being, that I've been able to watch. I think about 2 days ago, I probably bumped into 5 or 6 different just great blabs that were really, really interesting. A fellow named Matt Mazzio is one that sticks out in my mind. He's a VC at what was the name of the company, Karen?
Lowercase Capital. I love that name.
Capital.
Yes.
And just a fantastic show. He had, 15-year-olds who weren't going to school, who had started their own businesses, and he was giving them advice, on what to do, through to, old guys like me, sending in messages, am I too old to become an entrepreneur or whatever? So, and he just nonstop, brilliant perspective. So I thought that was really cool. So I think Blab is great. I think it's evolving. Karen, I think you mentioned you'd seen a couple of blabs that were really just, really off color and that kind of thing. But I think we can avoid, if as a user, you can avoid those kinds of that kind of content. So I think it was good.
Yes. And I think even the titles of those, some are compelling, some have good pictures, some have good titles. I think as Blab evolves, there'll be more keyword searches and things to drill down to what we're really interested in. I think right now there's only 35 tags to choose from. So I think it's a bit generic right now. Even for our conversation today, it's just really business, interviewing, marketing were my choices for what would be relevant. But I think, as that evolves, it'll probably be able to be more of a keyword search for relevant content.
Yeah. Claude, have you had a chance to try it much? Yeah.
Well, we had a chance to try something that was in beta state.
Yeah.
And I was waiting this one, okay, to become friend with Blab right now. Okay, I'm not too sure, but that's okay.
We've had some technology issues, haven't we? Yeah. Karen, I think one of the great things, in terms of what we do at Boardroom Metrics, we do have an interest. We have a broad broadcasting platform, right? We have 60,000 Twitter followers. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. And I do think the fact that, these conversations are both live but can be recorded, they do provide, fresh content and great content that can be not just through Blab, but through the other social media platforms, can be repurposed. So I think that's a great opportunity for everybody. Websites. I was on a website the other day where the Blab conversation was being broadcast live on their website, not just on the Blab platform. So that's kind of.
And also a video always just gives you a further glimpse into someone. You can actually see you hear their passion. You can see that they're genuine. That doesn't come across in a blog or in text. So I think just being able to, most people that we work with, they want to work with people they like. So I think the more that we can expose our team to be out there so people can look and say, that is somebody that I would trust and want to work with. And I think that's why we have Claude with us today as our first interview.
Yeah, big challenge.
Yeah, that technology thing, eh?
Yeah, that's okay.
Can you? So you can hear us, Claude? You can. Yeah.
Yes, no problem.
Okay. I mean, so why don't we just interested in Claude? So you're part of the Boardroom Metrics team. You're in Montreal. Can you give us just some background? What is it you do? You run a consulting practice? What's your consulting practice?
I call it more of a coaching and training practice.
Okay.
Basically, what I do, I intervene with customers to help them improve their agility or business agility. And this is sorry about the Big Ben. It should be.
Does that mean time's up? Time's up.
No, it's maybe we're starting. What I'm already doing, I go in organization and look at if they are aligned. They are aligned first with the work they're doing. They're aligned with their environment, and they're aligned among themselves. Do employees and do management? Do they have the same vision? Do they believe in the same thing? Do they want to go into the same place?
Oh dear.
Also, we live in a world where it goes very fast, ambiguous,
We can't
and
hear you there.
well, and when we talk with when we talk with the customer, they understand, say things are moving very fast, and they need to learn to move very fast. And actually, what we do, I started in project management, but just found out that just putting together processes in organization will not work, because we're talking about a cultural change. Okay, be able to embrace, even be change, and basically we help organization to be more agile and to increase performance and increase benefits based on
And
that.
can you change? Oh, sorry. And can you change behaviors, Claude, on that?
It's a question. It's always the same thing. You go in an organization, the first thing you do, you check if they want to change, and if there's some drivers there that will encourage them to change. If they love their status quo, there's nothing to do. But basically, you change because you have no choice.
So, Claude, I guess, Claude, my question would be, my observation, and it's a bit harsh, would be if you want to change the culture, change the CEO. I mean, that must be one of the conditions. I don't mean changing the CEO, but if senior management's not on side, must be pretty tough to help make change, isn't it?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Okay, so we learn a lot of things about. People think that, for example, putting agile culture in an organization is just starting with a new methodology. But agile or all those new way to do things, okay, in complexity, they're based on collaboration. They're based on a collaborative culture. They're based on a culture that encourage transparency, communication all over the place, empowerment of employees. Well, if you don't have upper management is very important. If they're not there, if they don't believe in that, there's nothing you can do. But although we have CEOs or upper management that believe in that have those values, basically they won't be able to do anything if the employees don't have the values. But it all starts. I say you're right. It all starts with the C-suite. Okay? Yeah. But after you have to create an environment where people build together a culture. You don't install a culture. You don't develop a culture. It emerges. It emerges from the need to do something together. Right. But CEOs for sure. Okay, is the key.
Right. So, Claude, you mentioned agile a couple of times. You use agile methodology. We're used to it in a software sense. You use it organization sense.
It's always a big fight. Also, there's a couple of white papers that went out not too long ago, and about agile enterprise, agile organization, and they all start saying that agile comes from information technology. Come from software, but it's not true. Okay, the first person who talked about agile was Jack Welch in the 1980s, and also Peter Drucker was a big promoter of agility. But because it was taken over, the word was taken over at the beginning of the year 2001. When they wrote the Agile Manifesto, but it was called the Software Development Agile Manifesto. Right. And then they generalized the term, and it's a big problem now because people think it's about software, they think it's about methodology, but it's about a mindset, it's about a culture. Mm-hmm. And you cannot even, and a lot of those people, we say, agile versus traditional. But actually, some agile practitioner, they are traditional agile. Well, what we call traditional is that people are using silver bullet. They're using recipes.
Right.
And basically, people just come in.
Right.
We'll do Scrum. It's a recipe. You don't do Scrum. Project management body of knowledge. It's a question of mindset. I won't use it to control. I will use it to collaborate.
And even the word agile. I like the word agile. I mean, it already says flexibility, and I think just even the word, I think, is a positive word that at least it's being used in organizations now.
Claude, or go ahead.
The problem now, okay, just the problem now is that you can find 50 definition of it. And also because it's related to software management and those type of methodologies, when we talk about agile to organization, sometimes they say, well, it's the software stuff, and also it has some type of a bad reputation, because in the Agile Manifesto they were saying, well, okay, we prefer something that works, over something that is documented. And it was interpreted as, well, we don't document anything. And it is not true, okay? And, well, basically, Agile, the best definition is to go in the dictionary, and you say, well, flexibility,
Yes.
nimbleness,
Right.
nimbleness in the phase of change.
So, Claude, describe a typical project. How do you who brings you in? Does the CEO bring you in? And then what do you do from there? Take us through that.
Well, actually, often you start. Well, for many years, I was working, putting together. I come from the project management world, okay, and was working, putting together new processes. Even not even that. Sometimes writing a guide, but you don't implement a guide. You don't implement new processes. You change. You say you implement something that will change the culture. And over the year, I realized that I could not put new processes in places if I was not taking care of the culture. And how it works, basically, we start right at the vision of the organization. I'm just starting a contract right now with the.
I think we lost you there, Claude. Can you hear?
Parc Jean Drapeau. Those are the islands where you have a new strategic plan, but it dates. They have this huge area, and they want to do something with it, and they want to have the projects, but they don't know about the benefits. They don't know where they're going, and because they have to review their mission, they have to review their vision, they have to review their strategy. Then the first thing we have to do is to look at the vision and mission. Mm-hmm. First, see if they have one, and then see if, well, upper management agrees with it, and the stakeholder agrees with it, including the employees. Then you start with that, because to get people to go on the same path, you need to have a common vision. Then it's all start looking at the mission, the vision, and see how we connect, okay, the changes we'll be doing with this mission and this vision. Basically, it starts with that.
And Claude, how do you do that? Do you do that with work sessions or studies, or what are the processes you use?
Magic. Huh?
I love magic.
Well, basically, there's a big debate about this thing about change management, because we're talking about changing. Okay, even a project is change, and right now, for all kind of reason, well, people think well, just tend to separate project management from change management, and they call in change management people at the end of the project when it's too late. Okay, when the project has changed, and actually you won't gather any benefits. Then basically it start with getting people to start really early to share the same vision and go in the same direction. And the way I do it, I have a special magic.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Then it's called change by emergence, or it's related to open space technology or a world cafe or something like that. I call it changeboxing. Well, it's change in a box.
Okay.
And basically what we do, we get all people first on the same wavelength. Okay, we agree on the mission and the vision. Okay, I'm going to start that with my new customer. Okay, first we start with the board of directors and upper management. Okay, they will have a weekend meeting where they will go through a process. The process basically, okay, we challenge them, okay, and we give them homework. Well, we divide them in subgroups. Yeah. Then they decided, okay, what is the mission I see in the organization? What is the vision? What are the values? And then they negotiate. And at the end of changeboxing, basically, okay, you have to have a result. Okay, then at the end, okay, if they don't agree, they vote. Okay, but they understand that it comes from agile. The agile world is that a time box or an iteration or a sprint. At the end, you don't have a perfect product.
Right.
You have a prototype, okay?
Right.
Then people, they agree, we have a prototype, okay? Right. We are allowed to make mistakes, right, okay? But we're going to test it, okay? And at the end of this meeting, say they had the vision, they have the vision statement or the mission or the values, and they say, okay, let's agree that we're going to go well with that. Right. Then once you have done it with upper management, you do it with the employees. Okay, you check and you validate, and then you do it with the external stakeholders. Okay. And at the end, okay, well, you have an alignment, and then you go to the next step. And basically, it's very high level. Mm-hmm. And the next step is developing the plan. Yeah, okay. Many people they ask me, okay, where's the plan? I say, well, I'm here for the first time in your organization. Do you think I have a plan? Yeah. Basically, this change is changed by emergence. Is that we have the mission, the vision has to come from the top.
The technology thing again.
But the detailed plan, then it doesn't work because there's no alignment and no appropriation. Then what we do, okay, once everyone agrees with the common vision, we let the people who will be affected by the change decide themselves. Okay? Then the detailed plan are developed, okay, the same way they emerge from a set of stakeholders that will have to leave the change. And what it does, it changes victims into actors of change.
Victims into actors. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, they cannot be victims of something they develop themselves.
Yeah. Claude, how long does a typical engagement take? Just varies by client, or how does that work?
Well, basically, just like with this, you can put together. Say what many organizations, they have a lot of procedures and methodologies, but they don't have processes. Right. And it's high level. Then you see every customer I work with, even a small organization or a big organization, say within a period of 4 to 6 months. Okay, they all agreed on the mission, they all agreed on the vision. Okay, and they have put together a process, okay, to manage, okay, the change initiatives, okay, to link the change initiative to the vision, the mission, and benefits. And within say 4 to 6 months, okay, they're in business. After we go project by project, and they decide, okay, to do a detailed planning. But within 4 to 6 months, okay, the organization shared a common vision. People are empowered, people are engaged, and then it goes very fast. And actually, it's very fast. And also, it's not a lot of cost for the customer. Basically, I have some customer who hired me because they had no clue what I was doing. But because I'm not doing the work, they're doing the work. It's why I say I'm not a consultant. We do the diagnostic. Diagnosis, but after, okay, they're doing the work. Say a typical, if you put a new process, say project portfolio management process, typically it might take 2 years to put that together. And if it is stepped down, it comes from outside, and they put together software and stuff like that, and it will cost you a couple of $100,000. Okay, actually, okay, I can do the same thing to go get them to the same place within 6 months to around $20,000. Okay, it's then people say, well, it's not good. You're not making a lot of money. Well, I will make $200,000, except I will do it with 10 different customers.
Claude, so that second last question for you then, Claude. How do you sell your business? How do you get new clients? Is it work?
Well, basically,
are you marketing every day? How are you doing it? Yeah.
No, for many years it has been by reference, by recommendation, and actually just like the last 2 contracts I had or assignment I had is because it's my own customers who talk to other customers and say, well, this thing works. And also, I've been working with the Transport Authority here in Montreal. Okay, it's about 10,000 people. They have a portfolio of project of over $7 billion, And well, those guys, they love the stuff. They do that since 2006. They learn how to do it. They're very autonomous, and they do they do conference and they talk about changeboxing. And basically, when you go on the web and you key in changeboxing in one word, well, you find me.
Yeah, perfect.
But
yeah.
But I want to do more, and that's why I'm with Boardroom Metrics now, because for many years it was just going to put together a process, but now I go in an organization and I help them change, and very fast.
Yeah.
And for that, you have big organization, and you cannot do it alone. Yeah. And you need an integrator.
We're losing you a bit there, Claude.
To manage the process and to manage the you will need specialists in marketing. You will need specialists in operation. You may need all kind of specialists. Once they decide where they want to act, then you will get the consultants in, right. Okay, where we need consultation in a content basis, but globally. The change, okay.
It's interesting, Claude. One of the things we always look for in the consultants we work with is what is their, not just what do they do, but what's their differentiation. And I've heard you refer many times now. You go back to you start with project management, right? The fact that you're clear that there has to be this, and you can't bring it in late in the process. It's got to be early in the process, right? Am I capturing that properly?
Yeah, because actually, it's why I find it sad, and I often when I do conference, I always talk about that. Why do we separate project management from change management? Right. For me, it's the same thing. A project is a change. Then you need to put together in an organization the processes, okay, that accompany change. And change is not at the end. See, it's all over. It's all the time. The result of projects right now, when you try to measure the benefits, first you did not define them at the beginning, and the result, the studies are appalling. Okay, it's awful. Okay, you're talking not even over 30% of the project give some benefits, and even it's not even 50% of the possible benefits. Because what happened, they wait too late to do the change. You must do the change as soon as you start the project.
Yeah, absolutely. Claude, we're gonna, Karen, any questions? And then I think we'll let Claude go. But
no, I really like that. It's just put the thought out there about starting earlier. I think that so many consultants are brought in midway or late in the process. So I think that business owners thinking about these things early is really going to help everyone, and all these companies could benefit from that.
Claude, what I'd love to do is we'll do another one of these and get into some of the specifics. I'd love to learn more about building it in from the beginning and how to do that. And I think that'll be a really interesting.
One very important thing really is the approach is not for everyone. Actually, you have to take first you need to have an organization that is ready to change. Okay, everybody's losing their time, and really an organization, because the change will not work if you don't empower the employees. Okay, and if you don't align them, and then the organization, and also organization that will agree to do that. Okay, is because they understand that no consultant will ever be able to solve their problem okay, if they're not doing their work. Basically, change is an internal matter. Okay, it has to go come from within, and all we do actually is just propose them a process to do that. But it's really up to them to do the work.
Absolutely, it's their business, right? It's their business. That's
absolutely, and they know their business better than us. And also, we have to come there very humbly, okay, with humbleness. Because we talk with organizations, they have difficulties. But they have revenues of multi-hundred millions of dollars, if it's not billions of dollars. They're not stupid. They're just having a hard time because things move so fast. And basically, it has to be done in a very positive manner. I don't know if you know about appreciative inquiry. Basically, okay, you look at the positive. You build on the forces. You don't build on the weaknesses. You build on the strength, and you go there. You talk about their strength, and this is the place you're coming from to do the change. But it has to come from.
Yeah, there's great learning there for every consultant, right? that's really, really positive. So
Good. Thank you.
yeah, thanks, Claude.
Okay, thank you very much, and have a good day.
Okay.
Okay. Bye bye.
Good. We'll talk to you again. Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, very interesting. All right, very interesting.
Thanks, Jim. I think that's a lot for companies to think about, and even for us, it helps us get clear on how we can help some of these other organizations too, with consultants like Claude.
Yeah, real insight there, right, from Claude in terms of how change, but also the consulting process, which coming in humbly, I think is a very relevant, and it's a great perspective to be coming from.
Yes,
so,
and even the project management is change. I hadn't thought of that as change management, but I like that perspective.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was great.
Terrific.
Where do we go from here, Kara?
Just that we want to plan to have regular interviews with our team and with other experts that we know in our network. So I think the more we get out and try this, we're hoping to do Tuesdays and Fridays at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We had technology issues with Blab yesterday, but I think it looks like that kind of stuff is fixed. Yeah, and I think if we can get on a schedule and get some good followers to
and if there are others out there who have a consulting business or a management business or coaching business and would like to talk about their methodology, their process, and have some interaction, we'd love to get you on the show. So get in touch with Karen or I, and happy to talk about how to schedule you in to these kinds of conversations. So.
Terrific. Well, thanks for our first blab. I think that's good.
Well done, Karen. So we'll chat with you later.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye, Jim.
Bye-bye.